In the blue table, this is where we figure out what's happening with the amount in terms of mass. In the previous table, we looked at what is going on with the fraction of the parent and daughter, and now we want to know how much of the parent there is remaining. So we would start with some given number of mass. And this is usually given in terms of the problem. So let's suppose we had 68 grams, and that is just a made-up number in the beginning. Well, in the beginning, at time 0, it's all mass of the parent, so it's 68 grams. And no time has passed. Now, we also have to know what isotope we're talking about, what radioisotope. So let's suppose we had, and I'm just going to randomly pick one, nitrogen-16. The half-life is 7.13 seconds. So after one half-life, 7.13 seconds will have happened. And after 2 of those, that would be 14.26. And after 3 of those, it would be 21.39. So it's sort of like saying if a year is 365 days, how many days would there be in a year? Well, 365. And after 2 years, there would be 730. And how many would there be after 3 years? 1,095, and so on. So the half-life is a length of time, and if we have increasing numbers of those periods, it just goes up by that same amount every time. So now we would have 7.13 times 4, which is 28.52. And we could have 7.13 times 5, which is 35.65. 7.13 times 6, which is 42.78. And times 7 would be 49.91. Now, the thing I want to draw your attention to is that the length of time between each of these is 7.13. Just like in from 6 to 7 years, there would be 365 days. That's the length of the period. The length of the period is 7.13. And to hit this home even further, if we look at this, 7 seconds, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, and 40, 49. So we're counting by sevens, you can see. So then what happens to the amount of parent? Every half-life, the amount gets cut in half. So half of 34 of 68 is 34. And half of 34 is 17. And half of 17 is 8.5. And half of 8.5 is 4.25. And half of 2.25 is 2.125. And half of 2.125 is 1.0625. And half of 1.065 is 0.53125. And as we know, if we notice here, the ratio of 68 to 34 is 2. And 34 to 17 is 2. And 8 to 8.5 is 2. And 8.5 to 4.25 is 2. The ratio stays constant as you move down the table. So that is the blue table.